What's happening, everybody? Willie here at the Great Outdoors. Yes, I have been AWOL for a little while. Took a vacation. Took 2 weeks. If you want to call it a vacation. I was still going to work, but regardless, I took 2 weeks and I stayed at the campground. And I commuted back and forth from the campground to work. I gotta tell you, there's something about leaving work at the end of the day, knowing where you're headed. And I mean knowing where you're headed. To a good place. To a quiet, no ambulances, no fire engines, no police cars, no little teeny tiny 4-cylinder cars that sound like mosquitoes with turbos, no diesel trucks, no booming banging radios rattling the windows in my house. It was great. It was peaceful and it was quiet. And man, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. But it wasn't without its obstacles. Yes, we had a few of those. Electric brake box burned up in the truck. I had to replace that before I could leave. Then once I got there, the camper started popping and making all kinds of crazy noises on the slide out, and it got crooked, and I had to call the in-house campground repair guy who worked on it for 3 or 4 hours, couldn't fix it, and I still had to pay him $400. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, he didn't fix it. I wouldn't have paid him, but he did work on it. He tried very hard. Very hard. And unfortunately, it was just something he couldn't do. He just couldn't do it. It needs to be taken a lot apart. Very much more than he could do at a campground. So I still had to pay him for what time he put in and what he tried to do. Don't get me wrong, he did get it better. It just ain't fixed. So now that I've got the camper, I'm back home. I'm going to tear it apart in the driveway and I'm going to try to take care of that problem. Now, the second thing. First campsite they put me under a hickory nut tree. There he is, right there. I don't know if you can see him. Right there. Here's my camper. I don't know if you can hear the crap bouncing off of it, but that has been going on since look, listen. That's been going on since 4:47 this morning. Where 4 squirrels got together and decided that it was time to hand grenade the top of my camper. I'm not kidding. I'm talking green hickory nuts as big as my thumb. Started at 4:47 in the morning. So what do you think about that? Slamming off your camper for 3.5 hours in the morning from 4:47 to almost 8 o'clock. Almost 8 o'clock that went on. I finally had to go to the front and tell them, we can't play this anymore. Can't do this. So they let me pack up my camper and move. That's when I realized just how bad the slide out was in my camper because I had to put the slide out back in. And oh boy. Yeah, that sounded like a train wreck. So anyway, I got the camper moved and got it back over in its spot. And again, I was going back and forth to work. I was coming back at the end of the day and I was fishing. Oh, he's heavy. Thank you, sir. Whee! This one has a hole in his lip too. Stop it. See the way that bait just fell right out of his mouth. If I hadn't kept pressure on there, steady pressure, he would have lost a limb. No, that's first aid. He would have got off. Thank you, sir. So the battery died, and the second the battery died, I caught this gill. Oh, I've got a fish. Worm for the win, and on the first cast. Isn't that craziness? Uh-oh. What the heck just happened there? I set the hook and the doggone thing took off. Come on around here, big crappie. Thanks, little fella. So yes, I was out there fishing. I was using my old reels and having a good time and catching fish and all that kind of thing. I did make some video, but it wasn't on the top of my list of things to do. I needed to take a break. I wanted to take an actual break. Push the camera over into the corner and just go, all right, I took some video, I videoed some fish catching, some old reels, and I'm done. I want to enjoy this. Not that I don't enjoy making videos, I do. But there comes a point when you need a break, you need a vacation, you need to get away from that kind of thing before it becomes a job and becomes so anxiety ridden to not have a video out that you absolutely just, you know. It makes sense if it's your living. If it's what's putting food on your table for your family, or if it's what's paying your mortgage or car payments or whatever, I get it. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I enjoy it. I am doing it because you guys want to see this and this and motorcycles and things and camping and stuff. Y'all want to see that, and I get it. But there comes a point when I need to do it for me, and that's what happened. So, second, third, where are we at? Are we on the third or second or fifth? Who's on first? Let's not go there. That goes on for about 30 minutes. Well, I was riding the golf cart, the fancy new $400 golf cart. Well, I got to noticing that the more I tried to go straight, it tried to go left. And that was kind of bothersome, I got to tell you. It kind of irritated me. So I got off and looked at it, and sure enough, the left wheel was trying to go left. Okay, so I ordered some parts, a steering box and some tie rod ends. Thought that was the issue. Fixed it right there at the campground. Thought I did. Yeah, the bushings, let's just go right into the bushings. What ended up happening was when I changed that steering box and the tie rod ends, all of the bushings on the left front side for the leaf springs just fell off in my hands. So that was part of the popping and snapping that I was hearing. So I had to make some. I fabricated a couple of bushings out of some Camping World keychains. Now that worked pretty good, not gonna lie. A little duct tape around the steel part of the bushing and then the keychain around that, and it didn't work too bad. But it started wearing itself out after a couple of days, and so it would have been good to get me back home if it was necessary, or to get me back to the camper, but it didn't hold out. So I ended up having to take the golf cart on my second week, the beginning of my second week, over to a place called Middle Peninsula Golf Carts on George Washington Memorial Highway in Gloucester, Virginia. They did me right. Replaced all of the bushings in the front end of the thing, had to tear the whole front end off, and thank goodness, that only cost me 150 bucks, unlike the camping part of it. So anyway, $550 later, I was able to camp and drive around in my golf cart. Oh, and let's not forget, I'm almost forgetting another great part. We had a nor'easter coming in. That's right, we have those on occasionally. We have those on occasionally? Sometimes they happen. That's right, nor'easters. But it picked a funny time of the year to come in. I always thought that nor'easters were in April. That's when all the chickens hide the eggs from the rabbits and keep all the little kids from trying to find them. Especially the gold ones with the money in them. That Saturday night, which was last Saturday night, I had to drive home at 8 o'clock at night in a nor'easter with a truck that has no air conditioning, which means it wouldn't defrost right. The camper was on the back of the truck, so it was weighing it down with the golf cart in the back, and my headlights were aiming up in the air, driving down a 2-lane road that has no street lights whatsoever, with people driving with their high beams coming straight at me. So needless to say, my driving skills for about 15 miles, well, let's just say that I was on edge. Mario Andretti could have not done any better than I did, coming around those old swervy 2-lane roads in the rain, in the dark, not being able to see anything with the windows fogged up. I'm pretty sure if Evan, who was sitting next to me at that particular point, knew just how scared I was, he probably would have asked to get out of the truck somewhere. I think he probably figured out just how scared I was when we got home and pulled into the driveway, and when I went to get out of the truck, most of the seat came with me, stuck to my pants. It was frightening, I'm not going to lie. And that was the end of the whole vacation scenario. So there you go. That's why I've been gone for, I think, 3 episodes. I just decided to take a break, push the camera into the corner, let it sit, and enjoy myself. Go to work, come home, fish a little bit, eat some dinner, take a shower, watch a movie, go to bed, get up and do it all again the next day. Very peaceful, very relaxing, very serene, and wet and rainy. So there you go. That was my 3 weeks, 2 weeks, technically 3 weekends. Why there was no video and there was no episode, I was taking a break. I will see you again on the next one. Now that I'm back, whatever the next one may be. Fruit splash, man. If you haven't tried that, you don't know what you're missing. That's good. I don't care what anybody says right there. That is some good stuff. You know what would be better? About 3 chicken legs. That'd be good.